Wednesday was Whalley Abbey Day for me, Nan and my parents. So we got a car and we went there and we looked around the Abbey, which is quite spectacular really, but wasn't perfect weather for it obviously. There's a ruin abbey and then there's with the conference centre as well. And then there's the main abbey next door, which is a church that's under repair, so that was closed. There was a gatehouse as well, a Methodist church, but that was shut. Doesn't have much in the way of shopping that I saw anyway. So then we all came back here and we had what was left of the buffet for lunch. In the afternoon I returned to the hot tub again for my third visit, probably my last, unless I do one again this afternoon, which I might. And then it was time for activity play, and the children and some of their parents were outside walking around the grounds here, enjoying the table tennis, sorry, not the table tennis, the real tennis outside on the tennis court and kicking the ball around and stuff like that, so that was nice. Splashing in puddles, etc, etc. And then there was the one part of this tour which has a little bit unnerved me, I suppose. It turns out that my sisters had planned a meal out, and perhaps foolishly, I don't know, but I had sort of always associated myself as being with them rather than being with my parents, if that makes sense. But they had obviously not bargained on me going out for this meal with them, so I got a bit of I mean, I was never invited, but I had assumed that it was a sort of a young person's meal, not a sort of how do you put this nicely, a parents club meeting meal, I suppose. It just drives home the fact that, you know, there is a sort of wedge, I suppose, between us, because I'm not a parent, I don't have a significant other, so I can't really, when push comes to shove, be part of this sort of couples thing that's going on. However much they try to include me, at the end of the day, I'm not part of that. And yeah, that is a bit of a downer, because I didn't particularly want to then sort of stay here and, you know, be with my parents and my nan, as if I'm like a sort of old person who's sort of past it already, that sort of thing, because of course they're celebrating their 60th, she's well on her way to 100, and I'm about to turn 35, but sort of ostracised from that group, so that was a little bit difficult. That was a little bit difficult, I must admit. But there we are. I'm sure they had a nice time. It was so hot that after we'd sort of spent the night sort of drinking and relaxing, I went to bed before they came back. Don't know what time they came back, but it was after 10, after half 10 I think. Yeah, that was when I decided to chuck it in and go to bed.